Going back-to-back with USDGC, which is like the huge finale, and then to ramp it up again for this week, right afterwards, like only 30 minutes apart, it's a bit tough.
I definitely seen the tide change a little bit throughout the week. I've seen where the beginning everybody was kind of playing smart, seeing how good everybody's playing each day. I'm like, I don't think there's playing no smart. I think I got to go for 4th downs a little bit, maybe not early, but it's definitely going to be an aggressive type day.
Yeah, obviously a huge advantage to only have to play 1 round to make it to the finals.
As much as you'd love to play your best game every time you show up on the course, you won't. So
I think there's a comfort in ensuring that the payout is what it is. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming out with probably the 5th or 6th biggest payout I've ever come out with in my life automatically.
Well, I really want this new car, so that'd be great if I win.
I mean, that's like 3.5 million dimes, so that's a lot of dimes.
It's a lot more mental. You've got to just think about your next shot and focus from then on.
I've been watching anxiously all week.
There'll be decisions to be made. Hopefully I just shred in the first chunk and then I have nothing to worry about or think about.
Like you said, it's the last big one of the year.
At the same time, it's what we all practice for and dream for our whole life, so we finally get an opportunity to play for some good money. And
I'm just ready to let it happen. I'm going to go out there, try my best, and then just see what happens.
Nothing is guaranteed out here, and so do your best and see how the cards fall.
I would like to cap off the season with a win, and last chance to do it.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Charlotte, North Carolina for the semifinals of the 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship presented by Barbasol. I'm Jeremy Koling, he's Paul Ulibarri. Together, we are BigBarri Commentary.
That's right, and before we get started, just a reminder, we got a sweet sale going on, Jerm.
10% off site-wide, free shipping for all orders within the US over $50.
We have a ton of molds, a huge variety.
That's right, and we're getting down to the end of our stock and our 10th anniversary stamps, and once those are gone, those will never be printed again, so make sure you go and take advantage of the sale while it is still active. I believe it ends Monday. Paul, we've got a super action-packed, we've got a card here that's got some big hitters.
Firepower.
Yeah.
Speaking of firepower, Simon Lizotte, I think that's the definition of Lizotte.
Simon Lizotte is the definition of Lizotte?
No, firepower.
Oh, firepower. 4 wins this season.
That's some firepower.
Got married this season. Had a child this season. 2022 is going Simon's way. Matt Orum. What do you have to say about Matt Orum? My gosh.
I mean, he's ranked top 10 in the world, so there's nothing else to say. He's got it all.
Chris Dickerson, another fantastic season. Winner of a major, winner of several events, as he always is. He's just always in the mix, and he is so comfortable in these woods on the East Coast. He is definitely going to be a name to watch out for today, as will our final competitor of this second card, Joel Freeman. I say second card because there's 3 cards out there, right? And this is the middle card.
Yeah, and Joel Freeman is coming off of just an absolute heater. He's been a top 10 name all season long, one of the most consistent players. Let's see how he attacks hole 1, par 3, 320. It's an island green. You got to get past that bridge right there. There's also out of bounds left and out of bounds right. Basically, you want to hit the gap with a slight turnover or a hyzer sidearm. Skip it up there.
At this time, I want you all to make a lot of noise for Chris Dickerson, Simon Lizotte, Joel Freeman, and Matthew Orum.
An interesting thing going on that's a little subplot. Tennessee and Alabama are playing the football game while this round is happening. It's a pretty cool thing to see Chris show up wearing his colors right from the beginning.
Chris Dickerson representing Discraft.
Dang, he didn't even finish bumping fists before they're calling him to the tee.
I asked Matt Orum why he wasn't wearing an Alabama shirt, and he said, "This is the only lucky shirt I've got."
That's hilarious.
Chris, a little shy of getting the correct angle there. That was close, but I don't know if it had enough steam to get all the way to the top of the hill, even if he had released it with the right angle.
Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Simon Lizotte.
lining up the forehand play. Very wide, and sometimes that can get through. That time it kicks left, and there is out of bounds on that left side fairway. Kind of fortunate that he stays in bounds.
Champion discs. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Joel Freeman.
This angle of release is kind of his style of play. He likes
Joel?
yeah, he likes to throw stuff on Anheuser's overstable plastic.
This is an early release. Does it find its way through the woods? Wow, that is a fortunate break for Joel, and he knows it. All OB tee shots.
Representing Westside Discs. Put your hands together for Mr. Matthew Orum.
Proceed to the out of bounds. Drops him at the bottom of the hill. Or they do if they never cross inbounds. And that is unfortunate for Matty O and the spectator that it ricocheted off of.
Yeah.
Or it might have hit a tree, but it was very close to hitting a spectator. Either way, Matt Orum will have to settle with a bogey, and that's only if he's able to make that putt. Joel having to scramble off the top.
What a dodge from the
Oh
camera,
my
man.
goodness. Just trying to get through the woods, and he almost makes it from 230.
Simon, little upshot there. Works out. This is our only birdie bid, though, of the group.
Yeah, that's a little low for Chris. Easy par coming up. Certainly a birdie you love to start your round with. It cannot be a double though for Matty. Nice. Up and down from the drop zone. I was predicting from the beginning of the week that this would be the round where we would see the very best scores. That last round is so much less about shooting a hot round versus just beating your card mates. This round is all about just trying to just shred this course. I mean, the weather is perfect. You couldn't find a better fall day in North Carolina than what we have here. A little bit of breeze can be challenging sometimes when it's coming through the woods, but it's not that big of a factor.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday, and we said 7 under was the mark. That should get you in, even with the ties or anything. That's the safe number. 6 to 5 under, you're rolling the dice, and you better have the points to back that score up.
Points being a very important, it plays a huge role here in determining what your strategy is as you come down the stretch, because those players who are on that final card, which is Gannon Burr, Ricky Wysocki, Paul Macbeth, and Calvin Heimberg, those guys are going to settle the tiebreak in their favor. Oh, goodness. Chris, early sidearm release, and that's just bogey written all over it.
Yeah, that even if he wants to run it to save the par, he's going to bring in double bogey because he's going to have to push it out so wide. I don't think there's a sneaky backdoor route over there anywhere.
That was a very lucky shot for Simon. Early release, and it doesn't hit a tree. He will have a long putt from C2. And
Two straight.
Yeah, this does not have the early swing, and that is going to kick out of bounds for Joel.
We've seen that a lot here as of late. The only way that you're really missing it is if you power it too straight.
This is a little high and inside for Matt Orum, so no one really hitting the line here on hole 2 today. But Matt should be in a pretty safe position to get the par. Chris, however, looks like he might have a line.
Yeah, that was fortunate to be able to push it into an area where he had kind of a high ceiling to get around that corner. Gets most of the way there. He'll have circle 2 to deal with that par, though.
Deep circle 2. Joel to save the par from 75 feet. Good looking bid, but just a little bit wide right. See if Matt can hit a huge putt to... Yeah, he might have to hit a huge putt to save the par. A lot of trees in that early inside off the fairway area. Oh my, wow.
A little Annie out of the hand to navigate that first tree. Then it's got a hyzer a bit in order to navigate the second tree. Splits them perfectly.
Oh, what a beautiful line.
Simon stuff.
Just right on the center. What a putt. Are these new putters for Simon, or has he been putting with those ones for a while?
Those are his putters.
And Chris will end up taking a bogey. So it'll be 1 over for Joel. 1 over from Matteo, and 1 over for Chris Dickerson. Through 2 holes, and these are not the hardest holes in the course by any stretch of the imagination. This is a start you'd like to be 1 or 2 under on, so giving up a few strokes, not only the card, but also to the event itself, because you're not just playing the course, you're playing the other competitors on the course right now.
Hole 3 is a par 3, 425 feet. Plays as a similar line as the last hole. Tighter window to come in on that hyzer line if you're throwing the sidearm. Backhand, that's a super late flip. It's going to have to be a very understable disc. Comes into these guardian trees. You're going to want to skip it about right here if you got the sidearm. And then there's the sweet spot. Haven't seen a lot of people get close on this one as of yet.
If you're going backhand, the closest I've ever seen in my decade of experience out here on this course with the backhand anhyzer is 40 feet. If you want to get close, it's got to be the forehand, low-driven flip-up.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. The only way that a backhand turnover is going to get really close is with like a miracle kick coming down and then kicking straight right. I've seen a few people get close that way, but not with some miracle disc that just turns it
right
straight right at 400 feet.
Chris overturns the forehand just a bit and pays the price. Once again, in these woods here in North Carolina, it is better to be off by 3 feet than 3 inches. And Chris Dickerson just narrowly missing his line, and he's going to get the big punishment of the big kick right. Joel with a good forehand. The last tree does stop him from being parked, but he still has a good look. And Chris has got to go thumber. This is not what you're looking to be having to do here. I mean, that is still outside C1, and he is in danger of being 2 over through 2 holes, or through 3 holes.
All right, just outside this. No, that's just inside the circle?
Just inside the circle, yeah. It's a semi-effective jump putt layup. And Matt kind of having some trouble finding his way to the green as well. That's a little short.
Wow.
Oh, boy, that's a good putt. I can't wait to see this again from this angle right here. Wow.
Similar line as the one that Simon just made on the previous hole.
Yeah, forced a little anhyzer out of the hand and flattened. As soon as it got out of the woods, a huge par save for Chris. Birdie putt for Joel. And just too wide the whole way. Missing on the right side, though. I gave it a chance. Good par save. I wonder if Chris will return any of the fun first down symbols today, just as the football match is going on.
I just don't see Chris as being like that when he's competing at a big tournament like this. He's pretty focused.
I agree with you. But I mean, he wore the Tennessee shirt. I mean, he went all out.
It's a subtle jab.
It's not that subtle. It's the biggest tee I've ever seen on a shirt.
But you know what I mean, the way that he is. Like, that was it. I'm saying that's enough.
That's as much as we're going to see from him. I agree with you there. Joel and the rest of the card all finding unique ways of getting the par, but they all do end up scrambling and saving. Did not think that we would see 4 pars there the way that was materializing, but good work for their card. On to hole 4, par 3, 462 feet. The play is just to throw the straightest shot you can and get down to the bottom of this hill. It really doesn't matter. I think you can get there with a fairway driver or a distance driver. You just have to avoid the power poles down the middle of the fairway and get across that ditch at the bottom of the hill.
I even saw some people going mid-range.
Yeah, I mean, the elevation drop is probably 45 feet.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah, I saw Kevin Jones go mid-range all the way to the circle's edge and made it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Joel
kind
also
of demoralizing.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. Joel going left side, getting through everything, and he's going to be rewarded with a pin-high birdie putt from just outside 37, 38 feet.
Oh, be good. Oh,
no. Which one did that hit? Oh, that is such a bad break. That was such a good look.
Yeah.
Just a couple on the other side of the creek that you've got to miss.
This is going to get over as well.
Yep.
Be over on that right side we were talking about.
The left side? Well, depends.
You'd rather be on the left side. That would be the right side to be on.
The left side
I'm
is
trying
the
to
right
save
side.
myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
no, I messed up for sure.
Simon with
Trying
a good
to figure
approach.
out a way to
Well,
save it.
I like you saying the left side is the right side. I follow you. Matt, unable to drop it from deep, and that's going to take him to 2 over, and that's a demoralizing start.
Yes.
You need to get at least one of these first 4. Chris chaining out left side. Certainly not the start that these guys were looking for. Big putt now for Joel. Can you get things moving in the right direction? I mean, I think he knew he missed it before the disc was out of his hand.
Yeah. Yep. He turned around before he even released it, I feel like. When you know, you know. We've all done that. I saw Simon at the USDGC miss one over the hay bales on 17. And before it had landed, he putted the next one in. It was awesome. It was terrible, but it was awesome.
Oh, man.
2 putters flying simultaneously in the air.
That is a Simon Lizotte only exclusive Simon Lizotte play. It's an interesting thing coming into this event, having a bye all the way to the semifinals. Top 8 players not having to play until Saturday, and that means that they've guaranteed themselves, I think, $5,500. No matter what happens today, they're going home with a huge paycheck. Obviously a reward for an incredibly well-played season, but I feel like there's some advantages in a way to having played at least one round and going through the motions and understanding the psychological differences between this type of event and a match play event or in a stroke play event. It is certainly plays tricks on the nerves having to constantly look at scores and knowing what you have to shoot to move on to the next day. Simon just a little uneasy still off the left side. That being said, he is beating the group by 2 strokes and 3 over Matt Orum.
Does this have the right weight?
Yes, it does. That's one of the better forehands we've seen on this tee all week. The tough thing to do is once you hit this gap, not curling backwards towards the tee pad because of the way it's sloped. Going long and then curling back to the middle is ideal, and that's what Joel's done here.
That one does not get through either.
Chris just trying to wake up.
Great shot.
And if this slows down there, Matt's going to have a decent chance. It looks so bad from where our catch cam is positioned, but it's actually not that bad of a spot there.
This is awesome. Almost getting to the log.
Whoa, what a good second shot from Simon. That's about 100% of what you can get from back there.
I agree. This is early. He needs help.
And Chris
Kicks
will be scrambling.
to the left side, which is the
Okay.
right side to kick on, though.
Nice. Well done. This is what Mattio's left with. Going to be a hyzer flip down the middle. Can you get the height right and avoid that log? Or just get by it? Even better. Very touchy approach from Matt Orum. Perfectly executed.
That was buttery.
Oh, boy. Was it ever. Into bullseye. Ground play perfection from Chris Dickerson. Joel just not quite heating up. Not yet.
That's a putt for birdie, though.
Yeah, I mean, yes, of course it is. It's just that approach is too simple for his standards.
Yes.
And he's going to leave frustrated, even if he has a birdie look. Joel's such a streaky player. When things are going his way.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. When he starts feeling like he has the confidence that he knows exactly where the disc is going, he's the kind of guy you want to follow.
Yeah.
If you're out here as a spectator, you go watch Joel Freeman's card because you're going to see some stuff that's going to blow your mind. But sometimes he starts tournaments off slow, and then you see him come back with some amazing 1080 rated second round where he jumps up 30 spots, and he always finishes in that top 10. But the way he does it is sometimes with just a really hot performance and then some mediocre performances. If he can find a way to correct right now, he can't waste much more time, though. None of these guys can.
No.
They really need to start picking it up. Otherwise, their chances of moving on to the finals are going to be shut by the time they even get to the back nine.
Yeah, these next two holes are totally gettable. I mean, this is par 3, 333 feet up the hill, playing about 410. But it's a basic shot, one of the wider fairways we have on the course. We need to see some birdies. At this point, scrambling for par, jump putts, under the basket for par, that's not an option anymore.
Yeah, it's go time.
You have to run everything,
Yeah, within like a certain reason, because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you've got to rely on eagle birdie finish on 17, 18.
Well, a lot of people at home probably are wondering why we keep talking about it and why we keep saying that they're running out of time. Well, it's because you got the best players in the world behind them.
Yep.
And you're never going to see the top 10. Let's say they're ranked from 1 to 8 in the points. You're never going to see 4 of those guys and only 2 of them play good.
Yeah.
They're all going to play good.
Oh, look at the tree direction here for Joel into bullseye.
That's a good start to it.
Yeah, that was heading off into the woods again, and sometimes something like that going your way can help spark a little bit of magic. There it is, heading in the wrong direction. Nope, right direction. Perfect.
And on these first 6 holes, you really want to be 3 under. So they are, and so those guys, there's somebody that's going to be 3 under, without a doubt.
Or 4.
Yes.
Chris just getting it over the short tee pad and connecting on another tree. Fortunately, it does kick slightly forward. He will be in C2, but it will be obstructed.
So in theory, you're giving up right around 5 shots to somebody.
Where are you picking up those 5 shots?
Exactly. On this on other courses, there's out of bounds left, out of bounds right. Here, birdies is how you pick up big time strokes, and birdies are tough on the back 9.
Chris off again.
And how many triple bogeys have we seen on the course through the whole tournament?
Oh boy.
How about through like the actual tournament? I'm guessing maybe 2. It's just not happening with these players. I'm
sure.
saying
The triples aren't. Yes, the triples aren't very common, but the doubles happen. So I mean, you don't want to find yourself in a position where you're relying on a double bogey, because that's
from the top 4 players on the planet.
And I've already been eliminated from the tournament, so there's one less player you have to worry about the double bogeys.
That's true. I was eliminated at the beginning of the season. So
a much needed birdie stretch for Matt Orum. That brings him to even. And Joel, after the great tree kick, he gets his first birdie of the round, and now he is at even par.
So, oh man, this is one of my favorite holes. Tell us about it, Jerm. Oh, talk to me, man.
It's just...
Sing to me.
It's a beautiful hole. It's just a fantastic straight shot. I mean, it's a classic North Carolina woods hole. A little bit of elevation mixed with a lot of elevation. You got to go downhill, and you want to hit about 50 to 60 feet short. Somehow dance around the roots and sticks on the ground and find yourself within C1. If you come up short, it's hard to run your putt. If you go long, it's an elevated basket. It's hard to get your putt as high. If you hit early tree, it's very, very difficult to save your par.
It was a good kick for him, though.
If that kick's right, yeah, he's... Oh, my goodness gracious, Paul. Oh, my gosh. What just happened?
How did that go into the center of the fairway?
Can we get a follow flight on that one? Oh, my goodness. What a break for Joel. Again, back-to-back holes.
They're all kind of in the center.
There's like a force field that's just kind of guarding this card right now from hitting the line. And Chris is breaking through, and look at this one. Perfect. Perfect.
Well,
I don't think he understands how good that is from the tee. I mean... I
think he hears it. I think you can hear that thump,
yeah,
and then
you know what? That's true. That was coming in with a little bit of pace, too.
Yeah, and so you kind of see it, and you're like... Probably, I know I threw a shot on this earlier this week, and I was listening for it. I didn't hear it, but you kind of like anticipate that thump.
Well, that is a nice way for Chris to try getting things in the moving in the right direction.
Great. Oh, great tree. Great save.
Wow.
Every time I look at this whole preview, I see that tire in the back, and I hope somebody just goes along and goes through that tire. It's a little deep. It's a little out of the way.
It's definitely out of the way.
Do you think that when you see that?
I've seen it. I didn't notice it until this week. Someone pointed it out. Nice approach shot from Matt Orum. And I was just thinking it'd be a fun like course rule of, if you're here, that you can either try to going through the tire or go to the basket. You pick. You pick your basket. Joel's got to watch out for the hyzer angle here. It does settle down. Nice approaches for everyone.
The fact that they're all probably going to par is incredible from those spots. You're basically re-teeing.
The short tee that you see in the flyover was actually the tee pad that was used in the 2020 or the 2012 World Championships. They thought that the long hole was maybe too difficult.
I think that the shorter hole's harder.
Yeah, it's a very touchy putter shot, but I don't know, man. I just think it's a fantastic hole, either tee pad.
Worlds is the tournament you want to win. Doing whatever I can to be as prepared as possible.
Stop being afraid and just play your game and be fearless.
When I get there, it's going to come down to getting in that mindset and staying in the moment. And if it happens, it happens. But can't think about defending, can't think about winning, gotta just prepare. If I leave winning, it's gonna be awesome. And if I don't, like, there's still so much golf left and so many more opportunities. Be in the moment.
Flying over hole 8, par 4, 622 feet that is broken up with a tee shot that requires about 260 feet of power, and then the big 360 through the woods here. If you're out of position off the tee, it is so tricky with this long, straight corridor going down to the basket. So really finding the sort of creative way to bend it down this fairway. This tee shot becomes so important for placement. Chris going inside, overstable Anheuser force with a drone and ends up finding himself in a fantastic spot.
That was so good. So much trust.
Matt says, I like that, but this is going to be a more understable disc and a much faster disc. He's going with a grace, and he's got to cross the ditch, but what he's sacrificing in accuracy, he's gaining in distance, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to have a easy birdie look.
Perfect.
Yeah, if I could personally place it anywhere in the fairway, I think that's where I'd put it. Very well done for Joel.
I'd put it 100 feet away.
Like you did in the practice round.
No, I'm saying I'd place it there.
Oh, Simon, if he could have ramped off that bridge and found himself on the other side, it would have been a lot better than where he's at now. In that ditch becomes pretty tricky. And once again, Joel unable to take advantage of the good tee shot. Oh, that's
good.
Very, very good.
Awesome.
Instead of trying to flip it up and get cute and try to park it, he just goes for the hyzer shot, uses all of the fairway, and finds himself left of the basket. It's exactly what you're looking to do from back there.
Yeah, think about the versatility you just showed. Overstable flex, tight line, trust, speed control, doesn't throw it too hard, comes all the way out, perfect spot. Then gets to that spot, throws hyzer that has no chance to flip up and go right, and plays it probably on purpose to about 25, 30 feet. That's good disc golf. There's a good approach.
That was a really good shot. And Joel just found out the punishment of missing your second shot because he had to work really hard to get a look.
Yeah, I was kind of fumbling the words yesterday when I said this was an easy par. It is not an easy par.
Yeah, I mean, if
you're in the fairway, and that was proven to me yesterday as we saw a lot of good drives. They went off course, and we saw a few bogeys. We're seeing it again right here.
Simon,
I just don't know much about disc golf yet, but I'm learning.
You're learning so much faster than other people. Matt, for the birdie. Oh my goodness. Right side high, chains and band. Chris to get under par, and he does it.
Needed it, got it. That's back-to-back birdies for Chris.
Chris is just hoping that he can get things going now, because if you had told him at the beginning of the round that his first birdie would have been hole 7, I think he had been pretty disgusted to hear that.
Yeah, and you see Simon now has 7 straight pars.
That's another thing that he would be disgusted to hear. So don't tell him these things before the round next time, okay?
Well, I'll just tell him, hey, you're going to go bogey-free through the first 8.
that he might like. He might like to hear that. Hole 9, par 4, 630 feet. The drive, you want to get right around here. And once you get there, you got these 3 trees in the middle of the fairway that really prove difficult. You got to choose left or right side. Then you've got these 2 in the middle of the second set. Once you beat all those, then you get down to the bottom of the hill. And hopefully you've gotten down there in 2 shots. If not, and then you're not looking at a birdie. That's the way that goes.
Yeah, you're probably not going to burden much. Yes,
Yeah.
do that.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Little tucked on those trees. You hate
He's fine
that.
with the standstill, though. Chris has got all the shots.
Needs help out of those trees, but that's a scramble spot. You can manage a birdie from over there in that corner. It just takes a little luck.
And Joel, just a bit early once again.
Almost perfect. Again.
Look at this understable disc that Simon just barely misses the line, and he gets a pretty bad kick off to the left side of the fairway. That's not very fun over there.
Oh my God, dude. How bad can it be? That's crazy.
Wow.
Roller to the middle.
Like,
that's nifty.
Yeah, I don't think that he even had, like, that wasn't the arm speed to get any closer than that. That was about as much as he could possibly get. To see someone go backhand roller for a 90-foot shot, that says a lot about how bad it is back there. And Joel's just hoping now. Oh my gosh, what is going on? How did he just manage to get to the circle from there?
And that's one of the better scrambles we've seen all year. Watch this. Out and then
look
cut
at the
roll
angle
down the fairway. Speed control fantastic.
Oh, that is a solid shot from Joel. Wow, to give himself a look for the par. That seemed impossible from that spot. Are you kidding me?
See if Chris can get something through here, boy.
Okay, so yeah, there's the soft punch. He's not going to risk injury, but he wants the tree to know, hey man, I see you. Well done.
Come on, baby.
It rolls backwards. That's
brutal.
That's just it feels like a metaphor for what we've seen so far in this front nine. So Chris will walk away with his par, and he'll finish the front nine at 1 under. But we'll see in a moment how much catch-up that means that he'll have to do on the back nine. My guess is it's going to be quite a bit.
This to get to 1 under from Matty. He deserves a birdie.
Oh, no.
That was brutal.
Oh,
horrible kick.
Just terrible to roll backwards up the hill. Now Simon needs this to save the par, and once again that par streak is just it's incredible. Bogey free. We haven't seen anyone do that yet on this course. Simon at 1 under.
Can he convert on one of the better pars I've ever seen? No.
To get all the way down there and miss that putt. It was obstructed, but tough front nine for Joel. I mean, it's going to require just about every single possible stroke on the back nine that he can get to have any chance, regardless of what the other guys are doing on the course. I mean, like you said, there's just that many players that are that skilled can only shoot so poorly. And 1 over is just that's not cutting on the front nine. This is the nine that you want to see scores, and we see scores. Gannonburst 6 under, Macbeth 4 under, and then a bunch of other players at 3 under. Those are the players that kind of give you a little bit of sunshine. Like, it's possible. Yes. I can catch those guys with some really great play, and hopefully they slip up a bit. But I mean, if Gannon and Paul Macbeth are doing their thing, you just can't catch those guys.
No. And the thing about this course is, like let's say a Winthrop, you can get on a throwing streak and then hit every fairway and go low. You're just throwing it good. All the angles are correct. But at this course, even if you're throwing it good, you can hit a root and bye-bye. You can hit a late tree that you don't see, a little leaf here and there. So a little luck has to go in on it as well. So.
And you're changing your angle. You're changing your disc selection and your angle on every hole. So it's not like you can get into that rhythm like you do at Winthrop where you're kind of throwing flat or overstable. Here you're like, every hole is a new challenge, a new puzzle. So getting on a hot throwing streak, if you can do that, it's huge.
Yes.
But we haven't seen anyone from this card get into that zone yet. Got 9 more holes left in the semifinals, and then we're going to be left with just 4 players and 1 round left for the 2022 season. We got 9 more holes coming your way in just a moment.